This guy should be able to break this up into 3 stops, so... Start thinking the pit stops around that 45 or so. 45, 50 if you can stretch it. If you can stretch it out to lap 50 and make your last stop short. Guess we'll see, huh? So David Cole coming up on some lap traffic. Look, he's already getting ready to put a lap on Gregory Myers. Anybody wants to go a lap down before the pit stops, but Gregory moves right, moves left, excuse me, and lets the leader go by. Flash of the lights. David lets him know he's let him know he's there. And Johnny Rick lets him go. So now those two can get back to their battle. David Canavan on the move here, so we'll ride along with David Canavan for a little bit. Had that off, had to replace the splitter, put some new tires on it, topped her off. So now David's out there making... Didn't go a lap... Yeah, I think he did actually go a lap down, but it's... No, you know what, let's just look. Let's see. Yes, David is a lap down. It looks like the leaders have lapped up to 17th. David Canavan, John Houston, Micah Great Tricks, Gregory Myers, so that must have been Chris Moses I saw there in the Lamborghini in front of David. I know David and Chris have a friendly little rivalry between them. I don't think Chris will make it any easier for David to unlap himself, I'm sure. David pushing pretty hard, getting down deep into that corner. Going to helicopter mode a little bit here. Don't use this camera angle very often because it kind of makes me sick, actually, so I'm going to do that. Get back on board here inside the car where we should be. Up the hill to turn 6. So you can just nip that apex right there and get on the power early and get up that hill, and David gets it wrong. He'll appreciate the fact that I saw that. So he loses all that time. But he's pushing hard. And now that we got that on video, let's move up here to Mr. Great Tricks. That's Celine. A little bit of damage on that right front. Shouldn't affect me too much around this track, though. Like he's going to want to be on the lookout for some cars. Looks like the lap car and the getting off into the kitty litter there. You don't want to do that. Just run your line and be safe doing it. Shouldn't be any problems. Don't need to go off the track to let the leaders by. So Gubster 2 places out of the points right now. Gregory Myers all over the back of him. Sam Rolfe ahead of them in the McLaren, running by himself. Al spitting flames out of the back of that Lamborghini. Running 16th. He had Johnny Mack in front of him, about 3 seconds out in front. Looks like Andres Cole chasing down Aaron Parsons, who's dropped back to 13th spot. So that's because Juan Monroy's flying around this track. Back up to 12th. Juan running 121s pretty consistently. That won't let him steal the lead with our leader. He's running a bunch of 120s. He's dropped down to the 121s though. Tire wear becoming a factor, it looks like. But Juan Monroy is slowly working his way up. We've got some lap traffic in front of him. Right around that big V8. Makes the pass of Mr. Houston there. Turn 6. All that torque get up the hill here. Pretty good corkscrew. Outside pass. Looks like he makes that pretty clean. So Juan Monroy on the hunt, getting to the top 10 after that early off. Aaron Parsons dropping back. Back into 13th now, not doing his championship hopes any good right now. Ian Jolicoeur up to 11th. Started around the 22nd-ish area, somewhere around there. He's got some damage on the front of that car. I don't think there's a clean Celine out there except for Mr. Mikey's got some. No, I don't think there's a clean Celine out there. Andrew Leonard, 10th, the leader's teammate. Looks like Laurent might actually have some damage on the front of his car too. So, yes, he does. And there's the mistake from Laurent. I warned him. You don't want to make that mistake in the corkscrew. It'll get you caught up just like that. People gotta keep an eye on him. His only hope, maybe, somebody comes around there and knocks him out of there, but he does get out of there. That's good, that's good. But I can do some damage to your motor revving it like that. But it's good to see him get out of there without collecting anybody. So we hop on board to see if he has any damage on the front of that car, or instead we get to see him struggle out of the corkscrew there. So that damage was on the car before he got there, so something that'll get fixed in his pit stop. It's going to move some people up. Andres Cole and Aaron Parsons gets a free spot. Juan Monroy gets another free spot, so he's up to 11th. Andrew Werner. Marty Urin in the McLaren. Looks like he's got David Canavan all over him. So David Canavan's either all over him or Marty just lapped him, one of the two. So let's see. Chris Moses in 7th. John Sportelli in 6th. A little wide on that corner. Brad Maris in 5th. Brad Maris into the pits. Looks like this might be a scheduled stop for Brad. No damage on the car, nothing scraping along, so Brad into pit lane. Fuel and tires. Brad making his first stop on lap 30. Or what would have been lap 30. Didn't start across start-finish line, so first of the top 10 to stop. So we put him down the order. Let people start wondering, what's Brad up to? So maybe Brad was going with the short first stint. Meanwhile, our leader, only 2 seconds out in front of Kevin Savoie, so David Pohl, who pretty much checked out with this race last week, not doing so tonight. Got a little battle in here. Good battle working up here with Chris Moses and Sportelli, since, you know, the crowd wants it, we'll give it to him. But you know what we'll do? We'll hop on here with David Canavan and give you the bird's eye view of that battle. You know David's got the pace, so they won't check out on him. Fresher tires, clear mind, lap down. See what happens when I do that, though. There we go. Chris Moses, John Sportelli. It looks like right in front of them. Oh, look at that. David Canavan made the pass on him just as we were going away. So David's got some quick pace, unlapping himself. Chris probably not too thrilled about that, though. He had a battle there, getting ready to develop for the position. So Canavan gonna make the pass on Sportelli. Dave should be able to hold a pretty tight line in some of these corners. Saw Sportelli had a little bit of issues with them earlier. David's tires are all that much, that much better. He's got about 6 laps on him now, but it's a lot less than what Sportelli's got. See if David can outbrake him up the hill into the corkscrew, and see if John's smart enough to let him go. David's going to be able to get the power down. So no, John battles to keep the lap car behind him. Got a couple cars coming back on the track right in front of him. So Sportelli into the pits, Moses into the pits, Andres Cole into the pits, Marty Urine into the pits. So it's pit time at Laguna Seca. First round of pit stops. Aaron Parsons into the pit, Laurent, Andrew Werner. So Kevin Savoie and Andres Prieto keep it out. Lap 33, these guys bring it in. Just gonna move some guys up here for a few laps until this all sorts out now. So Kevin Savoie stayed out. It's 18 seconds over Andres Prieto. Sam Ross stays out. Rich Roman in. Juan Monroy in. Andres Prieto comes in now. And remember, we had Juan's teammate who came in a few laps earlier, came in on lap 30, about 3 laps earlier, Brad Maris. Came in 3 laps earlier, so see if that helps or hurts him. So Kevin Savoy takes over the lead. Previous leader, David Pohl. So Chris Moses into the pits for his service. Johnny Mack also comes in. Al Merrimont, his teammate. So we got Al and his teammate Chris on the same strategy. Kevin Savoy, temporary leader, he comes into the pits now. So it looks like this may work out. With David Pohl, I thought I saw Andres Cole come in, but have to wait and see. Andres took a... I thought I saw Maserati going in the pit lane there, so we'll see. Maybe not. Got a 134 lap there, so I don't see a long lap for Andres. So no, Andres hasn't pitted. Pit now. That's going to hand the lead back over to David Pohl, because Kevin Savoy still in the pits. So here comes David Pohl back around the last corner to retake the lead. Andres is in the pits. Sam Rolfe. He's staying out. See his name at the top of the leaderboard. He's in second now. Kevin Savoy, a virtual second place, it looks like. Now he's into second. Andres Prieto, our virtual third place guy when Sam makes his stop. Gregory Myers, he's in seventh, but he hasn't pitted. Looks like he's a bit of a battle out there right now. We'll let these guys get sorted out. That was Gupstug. Gupstert made the pass on Greg. John Sportelli's sitting in 7th spot right now, with Gregory Myers right behind him, but we know Gregory's got a pit yet. Greg has a habit of making his laps, making his gas last a long time. So Gupster hasn't pitted, Gregory hasn't pitted, and Sam Rolfe hasn't pitted. Sam is in now, as a matter of fact, so he's ran up front there for a couple laps. See him drop back down through the order. Mikey Greatrix, just noticed him up in the 17th spot with Marty Urin all the way back to 16th. I didn't see what happened to Marty. Not that many people. So we got Chris Moses back in 15th. We'll pick up a spot here. David Pohl back out in front just by a second. So Kevin made a second up on David in the pit sequence. But those two have checked out over Andres Prieto and Brad Maris. Brad Maris dropped way back. Remember, he had that earlier pit stop, so he's 22 seconds behind the leader now. Got Ian Jolicoeur, I don't think is pitted. Nope, Ian has pitted. So he's running a solid 9th spot. That'll move him up a couple spots when Gupster and Greg pit. Juan Monroy, David Canavan. He's kind of out of pit sequence with us right now. He pitted there on lap, around lap, what, 20-ish or so. So he's kind of out of order here. But Chris Moses lost a lot of time. Back in 14th right now. Sportelli looks like Chris may have had an off. Let's hop on board Chris's car, make sure he's clean. Take a poke around, the old pan around here on Chris's car. Don't see any damage on the car, so it makes me wonder if he had an off into the gravel. Lost him some positions. Either that, well, we do know the Lamborghini pit crew can be a little drunk on the Chianti, so maybe they were just a little slow getting gas into that thing. So let's see, between the two, between Chris Moses and Al Marimon, where is Al? Al dropped back to 18, so yeah, there you go, that typical Italian Lamborghini pit stop. Killed these guys. Lots of fuel, lots of tires. Maybe they're just hoping to make the last stop a short stop. So the Lamborghini is dropping spots. But the Koenigsegg and the Nissans starting to check out. In fact, Kevin Savoy making up time on the leaders. So we got an actual race at the front of the pack here. 2-car race. Kevin Savoy and David Pohl. Just about an hour into this race, and these two just this far apart. Season, Kevin Savoy had was able to make some faster pit stops, make his car last a little longer. So this has got to give David Pohl something to think about. You know, Kevin Savoy's right there on his bumper. So these two are good around. I think either Sportelli or Gup. Lights on with David Pohl, so he's in race mode, letting the lap cars in front of him know they're coming. Mid-engine Koenigsegg versus the front-engine Nissan. Front-engine Corvette dressed as a Nissan. pole, getting it off in the gravel. Looking for a way to run the lap car, but makes a bit of a mistake. Probably why, but able to correct. Last one. Still has that lead. Kevin all over him into the brake zone. There's no doubt right now that Kevin Savall has got the pace on David Pohl. Temperature staying steady, 92 degrees. Nice and sunny still out here in California. Looks like Marco Conti has dropped back. He was running up in the 11th spot. He's all back in the 20th. David Canada, that early off, out of sequence set. There, pit stop is up in the 10th. See how he fares after the second and third starts. Kevin Savon, David Pohl battling for the lead. Now we're into this race. David Pohl not taking it easy. He's pedaling pretty hard. You see him jumping that car around out of the hairpin. Out of some of the other corners. Kevin Savoy pretty smooth, not pressing the issue. Quick look here at some lap times. See if we can't figure out. We had a 2:39.27. Kevin on his pit lap. 2:34. So David Pohl had a slightly faster lap pit time there. But Kevin Savoy's got him on pace at the moment. 121.69. Stuck on the 121s now right behind David, so David probably in the 121s here. Yeah, 121.3, 121.6. That's got to do with those lap cars they were with. So David Pohl coming up on, I would think, that would be Al Miramon. Pohl moving over to the right or left a little bit. Oh, and they touch. A little bit of banging there at the end of the straight. Now moves over, lets him go. Got the blue flag. Probably somebody yelling in his ear too. Looking outside. Bit of a tough track to really make a competitive pass on, you know. You think you can get down inside some of these corners, next thing you know there's a big bump and you're flying through the air, or the radius decreases on you and you're flying out into the kitty litter, and there's not really enough room to make space for the guy, you know, but you gotta force your way through sometimes if you want to make the pass. Can't always depend on the braking zone at the end of a straight. So see how Kevin goes about doing this. Yeah, like he's thinking about it a little bit. Gonna reassess the situation here. Gregory Myers into the pits. Lap 42, dropping down. Didn't see if he had any damage or what's up with that. So Greg can go 42 laps on a tank of gas. He's only got, what, 2 more stops to make. Some of these guys might have 3, so that's Greg there, stretching it out like we told you earlier. Mikey Graytrick's running in 21st. Let's see who it was we lost. I heard the telltale drop signal. Sportelli, Brad, Ian, Rich, Marty, Andres, Marco. Get back up into our battle between David Pohl and Kevin Savoy. Battle for the lead. We'll just ride along with these guys while I get a drink of water. So I'm back. Not got really left here. Nothing happened. Kevin's still chasing him down. Cut that gap a little bit wider. Guy's battling in front of him. You see him go wide there. Like that was Mikey. Let's see how these lap cars affect this race. Hopefully it doesn't. Never want to be a part of that. Pole lights on. Let them know they're coming. The corkscrew. Goes in the inside. So does Kevin Savoy. Nice clean pass. You know, the second I go away from this, check on anything else going on, Kevin will make the pass. So we'll just hang out here and tempt fate. Just have to wonder what's going on with the rest of the group. Of course, if they wanted that, they should be up here at the front battling for the lead, right? Looks to me like Kevin's pace is evened out. Doesn't look like he's got the edge that he had about 4 or 5 laps ago. Of course, both these guys have pretty much dropped everybody else. 13, 14 seconds up on 3rd place. Already 2 lap ups on some guys. Lap up on half the field. tempt fate anyways. So we got Andres Preto, 12 seconds back. Teammate Brad Mears right behind him, and 25 seconds back behind the leader. So Andres, after his pit stop, running in the 120s and 121s. You can see Kevin Savoy there. We just watch him in the window there. We'll check on some other things. Got Ian Jolicoeur and John Sportelli having a little battle. Chris Moses all the way back into 11th spot. Not running any better after his pit stop, so I think as long as Aaron Parsons doesn't win, I don't think Marty really cares a whole lot, because Chris is the championship leader by 20 points, so he won't be able to make up that gap. So Al Merrimon running 14th, making up a couple of spots. Not where he wants to run though, I'm sure he's looking for that top 10. Laurent Weisman. Marty Ern is the last person on our lead lap. And see, he's just now going up to turn 6 now. Let's see where David is. He's not that far in front of David, or David Pohl, our leader. He's only about probably what, 8-10 seconds going a lap down. And if Marty goes a lap down, you know these guys are flying, because Marty's no slouch. So we'll hop on board here with these guys, follow this battle some. Kevin Savoy made that gap back up. That car over to the left there. Like one of those nights where Kevin Savoy is on his game. He's probably trying to make up for Monday. These guys are running real close to their best lap times too. 2/10 off there, Kevin was. Really looking for consistency more than anything else. Consistently fast doesn't hurt, that's for sure. Fast and smooth. Those tires and engine last longer too, it doesn't hurt. Pohl, a little wide entry into that corner back a little ways. Every time I see him do that, I think he's understeering off into the kitty litter, but no, brings it right back on in. And hello everyone. Yeah, we're just about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes into this race. I have a timer on right now. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you missed it at the beginning, my name is Curtis Chandler. Normally Jack Ivey's with us, but he's not tonight, so I'm on my own. Sitting in front of the monitor like you guys, talking to myself, but hopefully trying to imagine that you guys are here, so thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate that. Final round of GT1 racing, North American Grand Prix. We got season 19 GT1 wrapping up here. It's a 3-hour race at Laguna Seca. Our leader there in the Kona Seg, David Pohl, has led. Virtually has led every lap. You know, during the pit sequence, he dropped back a little bit. All intent and purposes, he's been the leader of the whole race. Kevin Savoy right here behind him. These two are about 11 seconds in front of third place, so these guys have got him covered. Last I checked, Brad Maris is in fourth. Haven't heard any news on the GT1 front yet as far as next season, season 20. But I would suspect it would be more of the GT1 cars for Thursday night. Schedule's not out yet, but expect the big race in the beginning. 2-hour, 3-hour race in the beginning, the first race. Culminating in the 3-hour race for the last race. Super Bowl events for those. Nice fun selection of tracks for these guys to run. An obligatory spa race thrown in the middle there. Can't have a racing season without going to Spa, just wouldn't be right. So it looks like Kevin Savoie here, kind of content just to hang out there in second. He's got his teammate covering from Horn back behind him there, a lap down though. Got Andres Prado in third, Brad Maris in fourth, and Joel Lecor running fifth. John Sportelli, who had been running second earlier in the race, running sixth. Juan Monroy, right now, running seventh. He was running up there second and third spot early in the race. Had an off there at turn 5 into the kitty later, dropped him all the way back to last spot. So he's got good pace and working his way back up. It looks like Sportelli had a little bit of an issue there, so we'll hop on with these guys, Sportelli and Juan. Anyways, Juan had that earlier off, working his way back up, now fighting for 6th spot. All over the tail of Sportelli. Yeah, Juan is about 45 seconds behind the leaders. So unless something tragic happens to the front guys, Juan, the best he's looking for is a podium position. Still a lot of work to do there. He's about 20 seconds, 30 seconds behind those guys. Halfway through this race. No, not quite. Looking at 53. Actually a three-way battle. We saw that Maserati run on Juan's tail, so we got Rich Roman there in 8th. Three-way battle here for 6th spot. Parsons running 9th. Andrew Warner a few seconds behind him in 10th. Kind of an off night for Aaron Parsons. Most people think 9th spot is an on night for them, but for Aaron, a bit of an off night. Corkscrew there. Pretty good battle here for 6th spot. Also got that battle there for the lead. Kevin Savoie and David Pohl. Got David coming up on some lap traffic, so we'll hop on board here with these guys and see if that lap traffic helps Kevin Savoie out at all. Looks like they're coming up on Marty Urine. And the telltale drop sign, don't know who that is. Kevin and Marty side by side in that last corner. And Marty not happy about going a lap down, or just doesn't realize that that is second place right there. And they touch. Marty not giving Kevin any room at all. Kevin giving a little push. Say, get out of the way. Thank you very much. But you see that big gap there that gave David. Kevin Savoie. He didn't really just put Aaron Parsons a lap down, did he? Or is that Greg? I'm going to have to find out now. Nope, that would be Greg Myers. Now 2 laps down. So next up is Chris Moses running the 11th spot. Looks like he's not far from David Pohl from going a lap down. And I don't think I've ever said Chris Moses and lap down to the leader ever before in my life. You know, if these two keep at it like this, they're going to lap up through probably, what, 5th, 6th place. So a bit like Monday night's GT2 race, where the 2 leaders basically checked out on everybody. Aaron Parsons and Andres Prieto. I think it was Andres. They left the field and basically dominated. I think they were, what, a minute up on everybody else. So. But it was a race between those two. They only finished a few seconds apart at the end of that race, so looks like we got another one brewing tonight. David Pohl lights on, means he's got a guy in front of him. He's letting him know it's coming. See if those bumping with Marty made any damage marks on Kevin Savoie's car here. I don't think it would have, but maybe just a little bit. Nothing serious. Kevin Savio's arrow looking pretty good still. Looking at the list here, it looks like we probably lost Marco Conti. I don't see him in the listings anymore. So Marco out in the Celine. David Pohl goes wide. Gets a little bit of that dirt. Trying to kick some rocks up into Kevin's windshield. Like this here for like the last, what, 40 minutes. Not really pushing each other, but Kevin letting David know that he's there. Just hoping that wasn't a little mistake. Some more lap traffic. That's Chris Moses up there in the Lamborghini getting ready to go a lap down. Well, he'll take that. So our leader working lap 59. Lap 60, so we'll see him pit another 6 laps. And at his pace, that's going to be right on the brink of lapping Chris. He's definitely not going to want to go a lap down, that's for sure. Championship leader, you're not supposed to go a lap down. Kevin Savoy looking on the inside, going up into the corkscrew, but he backs out. It's the first real attempt we've seen Kevin make. I'm thinking Kevin probably want to make that pass before pit stops. He is running us a tad bit faster. And maybe a bit of a gap he could make. For a little bit faster lap in lap, out lap. Meanwhile, quietly running third place, Andres Prado and his teammate behind him. Fourth place coming out of the corkscrew, you can see he's quite a way, about half a lap behind him. Ian Jolicoeur working his way up the 5th spot so far, and that's Celine. He started back in the pack at the beginning of this race. Didn't make the qualifying race last week, so. Mr. Sportelli and Juan Monroy fighting it out here for 6th place. Juan inside, and he gets into the side of Sportelli. No intentions, just that's what the car is going to do there. I think Juan will probably see what Juan does. One might flash him by, may not. We'll see. Nope, race on for Juan, so. See if Juan can gap him now. Sportelli pushing hard, goes way wide there. So, let's go back up front. David Pohl, Kevin Savoy, our leaders. Slowly working their way up to a milestone in my world. Lapping Chris Moses, our championship leader. Nobody between them now. You can see Chris right there in front of David. Corner. And the Savoy right there. these guys have backed off a little bit of their earlier pace, about a second. So that means they're probably running the 121, mid 121s now. Where before they were in the 120s. Then McLaren moves over to the left. Let the leaders by. So here we go. Mr. Pole and Mr. Savoy. Getting ready to put the championship leader a lap down here at Laguna Seca. That's how fast. I'm not going to say it's how slow Chris is going, but I will say that's how fast these two have been going. These two have definitely the pace tonight. Chris. Andre's not that far back, so Andres is working his way forward. He's almost on the same straight as these two. Chris Moses a bit of a reprieve. These guys will hop in the pits before they come to lap him. I think that's probably going to happen anyway with how long it takes to fill the put the fuel in that Lamborghini and change the tires. So Chris having much of a chance to not go all lap down. Savoy's dropped back just a little bit. Chris moves over, lets the leader go. He's going to have to do it again here in a second when Savoy comes up on him. Hanging on to the back of that car, but there goes David Pole into the pits, handing the lead to Kevin Savoy. Chris Moses lets Kevin on the inside. A little bit of a twitch coming out. So Kevin Savoy, probably exactly what he wanted. A little bit quicker than David Pole. Clear track in front of him now. I don't know if Pole thought of that, but Kevin Savoy might be able to make the pass and put a little bit of a gap on David Pole here. So Andres Prieto also in the pits, showing him in second place, but that's just because he passed David in the pit lane there. It looks like Brad Maris had a bit of a problem in pit lane there. Here comes Brad. David Pole, Juan Monroy still on track. So David, full tank of gas, is up on the jacks getting tires. So David Pole off the jacks, getting going. Makes the pass back on Andres. Andrew Werner, David's teammate, out in front of him. So David back up into third. Let's put Juan Monroy into second place. Obviously he hasn't pitted yet, but he'll come in. We'll see how that works out. Kevin Savoy into the pits. So here we go. Our leader in. We just saw David Pohl, kind of a long pit stop in the background, just now coming out of pit lane. Saw him out of that corner of the building up there, so we'll just hang on here with Kevin. See where he comes out. Like Chris Moses, Al Merrimon, Brad Maris. We saw he had pitted. And Joel Licor. Working his way by. There goes one of the Lamborghinis. It's probably Moses. No, that's Al that just went out. Kevin Savoy getting a little impatient. Here he goes. So David Pohl just now coming off the last corner. He's going to make the pass here. You see him pass Kevin Savoy. So David Pohl back out in front. Looks like he's going to put a little bit of a gap on him. Savoy. No, Savoy's out front. Savoy does get out in front. I thought I saw him at the lane there, but no, he is right in front of Andrew Werner, who is right in front of his teammate in the Koenigsegg. So we'll see Andrew Werner. That didn't work out like planned, I don't think. So we'll see Andrew move off to the right, to the left. Whichever. Get out of the way and let David Pohl go on fighting. Right here on the outside of his teammate. Keep him a lap down. Now Merrimon back into the pits. Juan Monroy now up 10th. So we've got a few people that haven't pitted. So here's our lead. And as I suspected earlier, and Kevin Savoy able to make the pass in the pits. Kevin had a little bit of pace on David. 2-3 laps into that second stint. So now we're into the third. Track temperature's a little bit cooler. Not much, about 4 or 5 degrees. Make any significant difference to these guys. So I'm wondering if Al, there was somebody in Al's pit bay, that's why he had to go through. I saw Al go by there, back onto the track. So Al must have had somebody in his pit box when he came in for his first stop. We just saw him come off the jacks there. It's not going to do Al any good. He's dropping back. Dropped back to 17th position with that 2 pit stop. He's got another one to make before the end of this race. David Pohl pushing hard off into the gravel. But then again, so is Savoy. Excuse me. There's the lead. First and second. Savon. First real competitive laps that Kevin's led. David Pohl had led pretty much the whole race right up until that point. So it looks like David Pohl's going to have a little bit of thinking to do on how he wants to do this stint before his last pit stop. They pitted. We're just now coming up on the working lap 70. Halfway as far as the laps are. I don't think we'll make it to 100. See if we're going to go laps or if we're going to go on time. Starting to think we'll go on laps. So yeah, halfway through right now. Peter's working lap 70. Kevin Savon put a little bit of a gap on second place David Pohl. So it looks like they've got that sorted out. Let's see if we can't find ourselves a battle out here. Looks like we've got one here with Rich Roman and Aaron Parsons and John Sportelli and Juan Monroy. Oh, and Aaron Parsons gets into the side of John Sportelli. John Sportelli had been in the side of a lot of cars tonight. Sportelli back on the 7th spot, fighting with Aaron Parsons, and Juan Monroy, and Rich Roman. It looks like that might be Andres Cole there in the Maserati. Yes, it is. Sportelli not giving it up, that's for sure. So we got ourselves a 3-hour sprint race here. These guys here is 6th, 7th, and 8th. Sportelli, Aaron Parsons all over him, right behind him there, Rich Roman. So Aaron Parsons with kind of a lackluster night, still in the top 10. Doing what he can to help his team out for that team championship. Without a win, Aaron won't be able to take the Drivers' Championship. Aaron going wide there. Third again. We've seen Aaron do that a few times tonight. So it looks like Juan's marched to the front. Probably going to slow down a little bit now that he's worked his way up into 6th. That booster storm. scoring there. We got David Pohl still about a half second up, or excuse me, a half second down on Kevin Savoie. Andres Prieto in the Ferraris in third. He's been sitting there about an hour now, about 13 seconds back. Not making up any time even after the pit sequences, so. So we're following along here for this battle for sixth spot. We've got Juan Monroy in the Ford up there. John Sportelli in the McLaren F1. Right along there, Parsons in the Viper. There, it's been up and down all night. So we got 15, 12, 11, now he's up into 8th. His teammate running at 12th right now, right behind Chris Moses, who is sitting at 11th. That's going to give Chris a couple of points. 11th is good for what? 7, 8 points. Way past John Houston. Houston's over, lets him go. So as you can see, Sportelli has had a little bit of contact. Of course, that's a little bit more than a little bit of contact, and he's just going to battle through it. Since they just came out of a pit sequence, I don't see John going in to fix that. Might be affecting him a little bit in some of those faster corners, like just after the hairpin. That car pushing out there. Affected through here a little bit. Car's going to want to understeer just like that. And right through here, you're going to have to slow down a little bit. Or pitch the car. You don't want to do that too much. So that aero damage is going to affect Sportelli here. Got another drop. Not sure who that was. Just notice we don't have David Canavan, so it looks like David's out of this race. I'm just trying to remember who was in it and who I don't see on the list anymore. It looks like Mr. Canavan is not on the list, so. So Aaron Parsons in that Viper. Dropping back a little bit after they made some passes on the lap cars. So we're really trying to keep the pressure up on Juan. It's going to be tough to do with the damage he has on the front of that car. A whole another 30 laps to deal with it. Like Kevin Savoie at the front of the pack. He's able to gap second place David Pohl. Looks like it's just over a second now. Going into the corkscrew. Kevin able to make that pass in the pits. Came out just in front of David Pohl. David had his teammate Andrew Warner right there with him. Didn't work out for him. These two pretty much dominated the race so far. No signs of letting up either. These two lapped up through. These guys have lapped up through like 10th spot. Chris Moses being the Rich Roman is going to be the next person in line. Only about 5 seconds in front of the leaders. So Kevin Savoie, David Pohl. About 5-6 more laps before they come up to lap Rich Roman. Aaron Parsons and John Sportelli, those guys are battling it out. Next thing you know, they're going to have the leaders coming up to lap them. I don't think I've ever said, here we go again, I don't think I've ever said anything about Aaron Parsons getting lapped. Ever. Never. Ever. Never ever. And you can see right there in front, that Maserati, we've got looks like Sportelli is off. That understeer took him out into the kitty litter. So Parsons makes the pass. Almost going on in front of our leader, Kevin Savoie, with David Pohl right behind him in second. Maserati will probably pull over. That's how you know who that is. That's Rich Roman. So the leader making a pass on Rich. Now the leader's coming up on Sportelli. Kevin Savoie coming up to lap Aaron Parsons. Checks over to the left and let the leaders go. Keeps us up, he's going to score some points tonight. 3 hours. So that's how we can see the speed he's able to carry into that corner. And Sportelli has to lift for that understeer. Oh, and Sportelli gets into the leader. Coming back across on him. More damage there for you, Sportelli. And, I don't know if he knows how much McLaren F1 parts cost. So David Pohl, next up with Sportelli. Let's watch this adventure. Doesn't seem like if you're racing for position or getting lapped by the leaders, Sportelli's not letting anybody go by easy. So we'll just follow along with this. Looks like Sportelli's learned his lesson. Second place go. Quick flash of the lights there. So let's go back up here with our leader and see if he's got any damage to that car. Quick scan around here. Car looks clean. It's not to say his steering wheel is pointing the right direction, but could cost him some time in the pits if there's any little bit of damage at all. So see Aaron Parsons going down inside that lap car, as he's about to become a lap car himself. So Kevin Savoie avoids what potentially could have been a very dangerous situation there up at the top of the corkscrew. If he had gotten knocked down into that outside of that corkscrew and then sideways through the wall and then gotten jammed up there, all could have beens, but it didn't. So one lucky moment for Mr. Savoie there as we're halfway into this race. We just getting pretty close to halfway. No, excuse me, more than halfway. So getting pretty close to being an hour left in this race. So about 5 more minutes. Well, an hour and 5 minutes left in this race. You see one brake light there on the left, so he's got a little bit of contact to that right rear corner. Kevin does, but that won't affect him. So here's another moment for the record books. Sorry to do this to you, Aaron, but I know how this feels. Trust me, you're about ready to go a lap down, buddy. Gives him the quick flash. Well, if Aaron never has practiced doing that before, letting somebody go. So there it is. Another moment in any GP history. Aaron Parsons just got lapped, folks. And he's about ready to get passed by a... Oh! David Pohl and Aaron Parsons get together. I just barely caught the beginning of that and missed it all, but... And Kevin Savoie has got it all wrong in the carousel. Just like I talked about earlier, he backs up. He missed the bad luck part, so that he's going to be able to get it going, but that's let Andres Prieto go in the second spot. So Kevin Savoie's lost a bunch of time there, around 10-11 seconds. Kevin Savoie drops all the way back to third spot, which means Andres Prieto is in second. I think Kevin did that all on his own. Andre is quietly reeling these guys in. He was 14 seconds. He's dropped that down to 11 seconds now. And Kevin Savoie with his problems down to third. He's 15 seconds now behind David Pohl. Now we saw David get into the back of Eza a little bit there. Hop on board here and see if he's got any damage. I think it kind of depend on where you catch people sometimes. Where that damage can occur. Don't see anything on David's car, so. David may have dodged a bullet there. But I think I did the old broadcaster curse on Kevin Savoie. Sorry about that, Kevin. See, Sport is still struggling with that car back there in Andretti. pole, back to the front of the pack. Andres Prieto, our new second place runner. Slowly working his way back up towards the front. Nice and quietly, Andres. In the second spot, Kevin Savoie. His issues up there, not far behind now in third. So, with 1 hour left in the race, let's run down our order, see where everybody sits. Running first is David Pohl. Second, Andres Prieto in the Ferrari. Third, Kevin Savoie. In fourth place, Brad Maris. Fifth, Ian Jolicoeur, having a pretty good race so far. In sixth, Juan Monroy in that Ford GT. Aaron Parsons running seventh. Running in eighth is Rich Roman. Ninth, John Sportelli. Struggling with them steering that car because of that damage. Running 10th, Chris Moses. 11th, Andrew Werner. 12th, Marty Urin. 13th, Gregory Myers. 14th, Al Merrimont. He's having kind of a rough night tonight. On and off, but 14th place, him and Chris earning some points for that team championship. Is that Gregory Myers? Let's see, anyway, sorry. 15th, John McIntyre. 16th, Andre Cole. 17th, Dubster Douglas. 18th, Sam Rolfe. 19th, Chuck Carter. 20th, Mikey Graytrix. 21st, John Houston. 22nd, Sergio Calderon. And that's it for our runners. Notice Greg Meyer's into the pits. Made note of him earlier, being able to run some pretty long, what did he run, like 43 laps? So puts him, this is only his second stop. So this will be Greg Meyer's last pit stop. 8-6, no. I don't think he'll be able to pull it off. Don't think he'll be able to do it. We'll see. Keep an eye on Greg, see what he does here. We've only got 6 cars running on the lead lap at the moment. Juan Monroy in 6th spot. About 9 seconds from going a lap down. Sounds like Gregory's on his way. And he is. It's right along with Mikey Graytrix. Back here in 20th spot in that Celine. Saw Murray with a little bit of damage on the front of the car. Looks like he's got that fixed with this pit stop. Shot of Mike going around that. Come up here onto the last corner. Get your hand on the wheel, Mike. Mikey works his way around down on the Andretti curb. Having a good run so far, 2 hours into this race. Mr. Chuck Carter in the Ferrari 550. Running in 19th spot. A little bit of damage on the front of that car. Been running there all night. Trying to have a clean race, just trying to work his way up there to get that last points paying spot in the 16th position. He's going to work his way up a little bit more. A little more work to do for that. Gubster Douglas, Ferrari 550. Sam Rolfe in 17th in McLaren F1. Gregory Myers 16th. So he drops 3 spots. He was in 13th when he came into that pit. Andres Cole, Johnny Mack, Gub's teammate in 14th. Al Merrimon up to 13th. Marty Yearn and the McLaren F1 running in 12th. Andrew Warner in 11th. Mr. Sportelli brought back another spot in the 10th. Got more damage on the right front of that car. Yeah, maybe he had that anyways. It's hard to tell with John sometimes. Chris Moses in 9th. Mr. Roman in 8th. Aaron Parsons worked his way past Chris. 7th. That won't do it for him for the championship this season, but all you can do is your best on any given race night. Juan Monroy in 6th. Ian Jolicoeur having a great run up to 5th. That's Celine. Brad Mares. So we got Kevin Savoy making the pass on Al Merrimon. Kevin Savoy in 3rd. Andres Prieto. Looks like he's put a little bit of a gap again on Kevin Savoy. David Pohl in the lead. Kind of curious who this is. Possible? No, it can't be. Al Merrimon. It must be Al. Yes, it is. That would be Al that David Pohl's coming up on to put another lap down. Looks like although the Drivers' Championship may be sewn up for Chris Moses, assuming. Looks like Sportelli may have just dropped. Back down. Let's take a look. No, that was Sam Rolfe. Just crashed, parked it. So Sam Rolfe is out of this race. It's too bad. You go 2 hours out of 3 hours racing. Can't go all the way. So, here we go. David Pohl, our leader. Get ready to come up on Al Merrimon. Put him 2 laps down. David, get ready to come up on that last corner. Listening for a Ferrari. There's Andres Prieto. Still about 10 seconds back, but certainly not out of it. We saw what a mistake can cost you. Any kind of mistake from David Pohl, Andres Prieto can snatch this one away from him. See him in the background there, Kevin Savoy, who made that mistake, who was in the lead when he made the mistake up at the corkscrew. Got all sideways and kind of jammed up in there, and that cost him 2 spots. Back into 3rd. Put Mr. Cole down a lap. Again. So Andres, who had cut that lead down to around 11 seconds, that leads back up to 12 for David Pohl. Andres Prieto only 5 seconds behind Kevin Savoy only 5 seconds behind Andres, so Andres running low 121s. Kevin Savoy running about the same, maybe just a tad bit faster. Kind of thinking about what I want to do here. I don't know. We'll just kind of flip through here and see if we got any battles going on. We got Ian Jolicoeur, Juan Monroy in 6. Juan going real wide in that corner there. I think he had Aaron not too far behind. Aaron a ways back. Rich Roman in 8th. So Chris Moses might actually be thinking about moving up some. Currently sitting in 9th spot. He's got Rich Roman not that far ahead. Looks like maybe about 5-6 seconds. So it looks like Sportelli's still sitting in 10th. So Roman in the corkscrew. Chris Moses just now getting in the corkscrew. So that gap looks like it might be shrinking for that 8th spot. Miramon back in 13th. Chris's teammate. So we got about 8, 12, 13 points in the team championship between Al and Chris. And we got Aaron running 7th, we're at 9, I think, 12, no, that's 12, 13, maybe 14. And we got Gregory with 1 point currently, so that's what, around 15 points for their team championship, roughly. That won't be enough to do it. They need to make a difference of around 14 points, so at the moment, Al and Chris hanging on to that team championship. So those two are going to want to keep it on the track. Don't want to give up any points. Now, get ready to go another lap down. Looks like Sportelli has had enough of the damage on the front of his car. He's going to go in and take care of that. Looking lap 95. John probably a lap down, thinking maybe might go 2, so he'll have to go another, at the max, what, 36 laps? So he'll be able to go the rest of the way on this stop. Ian Jolicoeur thinking the same thing, coming in right now for his pit stop. think Al and Chris are going to be able to pit this early and a little bit thirstier when it comes to fuel. I won't see them until maybe lap 97 or so. My guess. That's a guess. We'll see. Chris Moses definitely closing the gap up on Roman there. See, Sportelli, the only car splitting them at the moment. Sportelli moves out. It's over. Doesn't want any more damage to that car. He's got a nice clean car again. Team doing a good job of cleaning it up. So Chris Moses looking to get some more points, moving his way up into 7th. Which means Aaron Parsons moved up to 6th. Juan is 5th, Brad Maris 4th, Kevin Savoie 3rd, Andres 2nd, David Pohl in the lead still. So somebody has moved back a spot. That all these guys, oh, that would. Now it's about the time guys getting tired. Arms are starting to take a set. Back's getting all numb. You need a drink. Like this, a little iced tea. Getting ready to make that final pit stop and go to the end. So as they sit, looks like Roman's into the pits. So Chris is going to take over that 7th spot. And that wasn't very exciting. Blew that whole idea. Working lap 98. Lap 99, actually. So we got Chris Moses and Aaron Parsons. It's about half a lap up on Chris, so. But Aaron only being one position in front of him. That's not going to be the 14 points Two Broke Bam Bam needs to snag away that team championship. So our leader, David Pohl, into the pits. Looks like Aaron Parsons is in. Oh, Andres Prieto, our 2nd place guy, is issues getting into the pit lane, and look what's that done. There's your mistake. Doesn't matter if it happens out there on the track or in pit lane. That's let Kevin Savoie get right up on his tail. So both Lamborghinis into the pits. David Pohl, our leader, into the pits. Kevin Savoie just now stopping, turning the motor off, getting the fuel into the car. So it's going to be real close between Andres and Kevin Savoie. Brad Maris, Andres' teammate, coming in for his final pit stop. He should be a little bit shorter. Guys won't need all the gas. This race is not going to go 140 laps. goes Juan Monroy. David Pohl gonna go back out into the lead. Juan Monroy is in front of him, but he's getting ready to go a lap down. So David Pohl out, Kevin Savoy comes out, and Andres Prieto loses second place because of that mistake going into the pinnage. Drops him back to third. But we saw Andres had the pace, so he's going to be a little upset at himself, I'm sure, for that mistake. Work his way back up to Kevin. Put the fight on. So these guys pit on lap, what, 98? Pit on lap 99? Put enough gas in the car, I'm sure, to go about, what, 36, 37 laps? See how much time we got left on here. Get the hand out of the screen, sorry about that. So yeah, we got about 40 minutes left. It's going to put about 35 more laps to go. So yeah, we'll be about 5 laps short of that 140 mark, guessing. So Andres Prieto, sit third after that mistake. Was second going into pits, comes out third. Up ahead of him there, going into the corner, you see Kevin Savoy. But out front, David Pohl, able to capitalize on the mistakes of those two competitors that were in front of him. All he's got to do now is keep it clean. David had a couple of moments with some lap cars, but came out of them unscathed. See him, he's about 8 to 10 seconds up on second place. Savoy, Andres Prieto, another 5 seconds back there, in third. So we got our 1, 2, and 3 guys, all within battling distance of each other. 2 hours and 22 minutes into this race. Guys are only 14 seconds apart. Fourth with Brad Maris. Not a challenger at the moment, 42 seconds back. So since they've sorted themselves out, let's find ourselves a battle on the track. Andres Cole, John Sportelli, 10th. Chris Moses. So Sportelli and Moses. This is important for Moses. He doesn't want to drop out, that's for certain. Sitting there running 9th, those are valuable points. If he just happened to have any issues, may hand over a team championship, so he's going to want to play it smart here with Sportelli. Chris Moses has got Rich Roman right in front of him, so Chris closing that gap earlier before the pit stops. He is right there, but John Sportelli is right on him with a fixed car, so John's probably going to want to try to exploit that, since he's had a messed up car that whole previous stint. He's probably pretty happy with the way the car's feeling right now. Sportelli. 8th, 9th, and 10th. Closest battle it looks like right now on the track. More importantly, this is a team championship battle here for Chris Moses, so keep an eye on this one. See how Chris decides to go about this. Pretty good out of the corkscrew and out of that back section. This Maserati. Maserati pretty good along the straight, but he's got a lap car he's thinking out in front of him. Jerome had some really good races early in the season. So Moses stole one at Daytona. Said something about not feeling too good about it. Turn 5. Turn 6 and up the hill. It's really clean up there. GT1 live timing. Y'all can do that too. Keep tabs on the leaders. Looks like Kevin Savon, Andres Prado. Last check. Kevin Savon only about 4 seconds back behind David. Andres Prado's brought back around 20 seconds. So Andres had another off. To the benefit of Kevin Savon. Meantime, we're following along here. Battle for 8th place. Chris Moses in the Lamborghini. He's got John Sportelli right on the back of him. Or he did. Sportelli. I gotta look for that thing. Nope, he's good. I thought I saw damage to the front of Sporto's car already. But there's not. Andres Cole off there into the kitty litter, but he gets it back on track. Chris Moses. Just over 32 minutes left to go in this race. And about 24 more laps. Guys are all topped off. Pit stops are done. Tires they have. Tires are going to have to do this. Roman coming up on, see if it's a Lamborghini. I don't know if that's Al. Houston. They've been Houston. Lambo love there, letting everybody go. Sportelli lurking just a few seconds behind Chris Moses. Sportelli was right there, but he just dropped off a little bit. Sportelli wide into the grass back there. Chris Moses still got Richard Roman in his sights. It's another point or two towards that team championship and to solidify his driver's championship. After a rough GT2 season, Chris Moses, I'm sure, is going to look back on this season 19 in GT1 as a maybe a bit of a surprise win for him. Kevin Savon, David Cole having a lot of pace this season. Roman gets it all wrong up that hill, gets it into litter, and that's going to let Moses up on the inside into the corkscrew. Roman's got to let him go. So there's P8 for Chris Moses, another couple points. Just see if Chris can keep his focus forward. Once he's equal, if not, not just a tad bit faster than Richard. All he's got to do is run his lap, hit his marks, he'll be fine. Meanwhile, I think we got a battle going on up front here for the lead. We got David Pohl, Kevin Savoy, and you can hear it. David Pohl must have made a mistake because Kevin Savoy is now in the lead. I looked over at the side monitor and saw 0.7. So David Pohl dropped to second. Kevin Savoy snatching the lead again. Not like Pohl to make a mistake. Didn't see what happened, don't want to assume, but just like that, Kevin Savoy out into the gravel makes a small mistake himself. So the time getting to these guys, I think. 28 minutes left of this race. Been out here for 2 hours and 32 minutes. Just a couple of quick breaks in the pits, grab a drink, refocus your eyes. You get down towards the end of these stints, these guys can start making these little mistakes and it can cost them. See the gap, first and second. This race has turned into a sprint race. 27 minutes to go. These guys are gonna pull out all the stops now. These two about 19 seconds up on third place. So should these two get close enough to each other, there's always people waiting in the back there to snag that win. Third place runner Andres Prieto. Second place David Pohl. Wish I had seen what happened to David. Don't know if it was lap traffic or just a mental error. Either way, don't matter now. He's in second place. On for Kevin Savoy as he comes up on that traffic. That nice entry into that corner. Carrying a lot of speed through there. Nice and smooth on the pedal. Pole probably going to be able to do the same here. Coming up to turn 5, I would think this. Be able to get inside. I think that's Chuck Carter. And he does. So much for the 3-hour enduro race. We've got ourselves a 25-minute sprint race now. These guys have been running nose to tail this whole race. Those stakes costing each of them. Kevin Savall having a tiny bit better pace. Pit stops, able to make the pass in the pit lane. Made a mistake in the corkscrew. Gave up that lead to David Pole. Just a few laps ago, David Pole made a mistake in the corkscrew as well. Something happened to the corkscrew. It's dropped him back now. Second. So here it is. Looks like these two getting ready to Gregory Myers. Yep, great. These two are coming up on. Greg move over. They'll do it up here at the corkscrew. Kind of a dangerous spot for everybody involved, but let them go there. Goes 2 laps down. So David Pole getting around Greg. So just a few seconds behind the leader. So race on. See Eza coming up there on his teammate. So 22 minutes left in this GT1 season. Team championship is slipping away from Two Broke Bam Bam. But count your chickens until they're hatched, right? A lot can happen in 23 minutes. You just saw a lot can happen in just one lap. That's Sergio Maserati coming out of the pits there. So he's going to come out right behind David Pole, and he is. Right out. Comes out in front of Greg and Neza. But he'll move over and let them go. David Pole still 1.5 seconds back behind Kevin Savon. Kevin out into the litter. Pushing it hard now. So Kevin just into the corkscrew there. David's car been pretty good through here. 13. Start lap 14. So this race running on time. Don't hit that. That would be bad. David, just a little bit of a mistake there in Andretti. These two about 20 seconds, give or take, up on third place, or yeah, up on third place. So they've got it covered. It's our closest battle on the track at the moment. Looking through timing and scoring. Chris Moses still out in front of Rich Roman, but Aaron Parsons out in front of Chris, so only by one position. Looks like the Marty Urn and Gregory Myers have got a good battle going on. Hop on boards with those two. Haven't heard much from Marty tonight. We're in about the middle of the pack the whole race. Currently sitting 13th. Getting embroiled at the battle here with the Viper. Spot. Marty got a run on him. See what Marty decides to do. It's up just a little bit. Where to make that pass. Sorry. So Marty Urn, Gregory Myers battling for that 12th spot. Al Miramon not far behind. These two start battling. We'll have a three-way battle for that 12th spot. You can hear the Lambo coming up the hill right there. Going into the corkscrew, we got Al Miramon chasing down 13th Marty Urn, who in turn is chasing down 12th place Gregory Myers. Smell it. He goes, aha. Points. More points. I think Al's going to be able to get in the top 10, but good way to solidify a championship. Stay on the track, get some points. Looks like Al's got some pretty good pace. He's able to close the gap on these two. Don't expect him to push it too hard to make any passes or anything, but like I said earlier, once you put the helmet on and get in race mode, you want to pass everything. So Marty and Greg, it looks like there may be a bit of an issue. I'm already thinking about going down inside, and what that's done is let Al Merrimon get up beside him. Keep an eye on this. Al deep inside there on the corner. He's going to be able to make the pass. Or, yeah, Marty. Tried to close the door, didn't do it. So Al works his way up into 13th spot. A little get together there at the last corner. Marty and Greg let Al snag a spot from Marty. Now Al's got his side on. Two broke damn bam rival Gregory Myers. So all Al really has to do is just keep Greg in sight. You can see Marty might be having a little bit of a lag issue. Been a problem for him. Now gets it wide out of the corkscrew, but watching his mirrors maybe. Eyes forward, Al. Come on. Looking at about 10 more minutes of this race. I'll have the timer on, turn the timer off for internet reasons. I'll turn it back on here in about 4 more minutes, see how much time we've got left. Meanwhile, back up front, Kevin Savoie, still our leader. About 2 seconds now after that mistake David Pohl had. David not able to close that gap. So we're staying pretty steady there at about 2 seconds. We saw this at the end of the sprint. Kevin Savoie is able to take good care of the car, good care of the tires. Sure he has a good car underneath him for the end of the stint. Moving around here between these guys, Greg and Al. Chris Moses was at one point actually quite a ways behind Aaron, so. But as far as the points are concerned, that's only a 1 point difference, so that'll work out for Chris there behind Aaron Parsons. Juan Monroy running 6th, Ian Jolicoeur in 5th. Seems like Ian got up to about 5th, and that's kind of where he stopped. Able to make up any time there on Brad Maris in 4th. Andres Prieto, who had stolen the lead from both David and Kevin Savoie, made a mistake going into pit lane, had to spin a car around, and he came out there in 3rd place at the end of that pit stop, and that's where he's been ever since. So David Pohl with the leader right there in front of him. Kevin Savoie, our leader. Only by about 1.5 seconds, though, after almost 3 hours of racing. These two have been battling it out. The occasional Andres thrown in there. left of this race. Kevin Savoie making the pass on Mr. Houston there, putting him another lap down. And it looks like they're coming up on Juan Monroy. Juan Monroy is sitting in 6th spot, so our leaders getting ready to lap up to 6th place. A little too close for comfort, but pass is made, and now he's on his way. Nothing between him and the leader. Coming up on 7 minutes left of this race. This lap is going to go on time. This race is going to go on time. We're only doing a lap 124 right now, so stay on board with these guys. And David makes the mistake, goes out wide into the kitty litter at turn 6. Kevin Savoie is going to see him drop in the mirror, and he's going to be smiling big. Yeah, just see if Kevin Savoie can stay concentrated on what's in front of him and not do the same mistake. So we got 1 mistake for Kevin Savoie and 2 mistakes from Mr. David Pohl. Let's see what that gap is going to do now. David upset with himself, getting on the power hard out of that last corner. That means we probably got about about 4-second gap now between first and second. David in no danger of losing that second spot to third place Andres Prieto. But David's starting to make those little mistakes here and there. That's going to cost him more time. So that gap probably going to grow here in the next section. Five minutes left in the race. We'll do a quick little check here of the boss. Looks like Gregory Myers has had a bit of an issue. He's dropped back to 14th spot. Now that's Marty Urn and Greg going at it. So we got Al in front of Marty and Greg. Al with the 12th. Andrew Warner, David's teammate, in 11th. Let's see Greg Myers in 14th spot. Battling with Al and Marty here in the last corner. Andretti hairpin. Marty Aaron right behind him. Gregory Myers right behind him. But we've got 4 minutes left in this session. Kevin Savoy out front. About 3 or 4 seconds over second place David Pohl, who was a favorite to win this race based on his pace in the qualifying Super Pole. Hasn't turned out to be the case. He's had competition all night from Kevin. And a couple of mistakes by each of them. Let the lead change a few times, and then another mistake by Andres. Well, if Andres would have had the pace to stay out front, he's dropped now 23 seconds back, so tough track to pass on, but could have made it interesting if Andres was able to come out of the pits in the lead, but not the way it worked out. So we got Kevin Savoy out front. About 3 laps left. Got just under 3 minutes left of this race. Close that gap just a little bit. No, he's not going to give up, that's for certain. He's not going to throw in the towel. He's going to keep the pressure on. See if he can't force a small bobble out of Kevin. As he keeps his lights on and lets him know he's there. Make him think about it. That's what the lights are for. He goes, yeah, I'm still right here. You can see my lights. Bit of gamesmanship there for him. Peek around this corner and see if Kevin's got. There's a lap car going through turn 6 right now. So may have a clean run to the end of the race. David Pohl right there. He's closing the gap up on Savoy. Seconds left in the race. And David Pohl closing the gap. About a second and a quarter behind the leader. Looks like Kevin missed a shift there. Fuel shouldn't be a problem, but 10 seconds left in the session. Trust the timer. I've been snagged by that a few times, but if it's not lying to me, we are on the last lap. David Pohl has closed the gap. You got under a second around this track. Small little bobble in the corkscrew into the sand. That's all it's going to take for David to make the pass. Kevin Savoy coming down the hill with David Pohl right there on his tail. David Pohl looking on the outside in the last corner. Is this the last lap? Kevin Savoy. David Pohl up the hill. And this is for the lead. We are still on the clock. David goes down inside Kevin Savoy. This is the last lap. Looks like David Pohl has snagged the lead from Kevin Savoy. On the last lap of the race, I'm starting to wonder if maybe Kevin Savoy might be having a little bit of a problem. He may be out of gas. Kevin Savoy is short shift, and that's the problem with Kevin. He may lose second place to Andres Prieto. Kevin Savoy out of gas. That is terrible, terrible news for Kevin. He's had that happen to him before in Japan, I think it was. That's going to leave David Pohl to go on to win this race. He's just going to keep it on track. David Pohl going to come through and win this final GT1 race of the season 19. We'll flip through. It looks like how is that for a finish after 3 hours? That's just nuts. Congratulations to David Pohl on that win. Good job, David Pohl. Let's see what's happening to Kevin. He's still working his way around. Kevin Savoy is able to nurse at home. Just look at that. Nurses at home into second place. Good job, Kevin Savoy. Andres Prieto saw him there. He snags third. Brad Maris is in fourth. Ian Jolicoeur halfway back down the track there. Just now coming out of the corkscrew. Working his way down into last corner of the track here. Saw a parked McLaren. I'm not going to be able to run down the list here because of laps where everybody's at. Got a gaggle of cars here. We got Brad Maris and Al Marimon and Chris Moses. Brad Maris still on the clock. He's trying to finish up his lap. Brad Maris coming down the corkscrew now. Looks like Ian Jolicoeur had a bit of an issue there. Now he's parked it, so that's it. Brad Maris, last one running here. No, he's into the pits. So there it is, folks. Let me go see if I can't snag our winner, David Pohl.
And he made up over 10 seconds on it.
Hey, David.
So he must have been topping it off the whole way. Hey, Curtis, how you doing?
Good. I snuck into your room here. Congratulations on the win. I think you've pretty much figured out what happened by now, right?
I'm assuming Kevin was running out of gas.
Yes, he was. But hey, that was a pretty tough battle after 3 hours, and each of you made some little mistakes here and there, and you're coming out on top.
Yeah, he was obviously getting a lot better fuel mileage than me, but I was surprised when he got by me after I think it was the second stop. I thought that was it. I thought he was just going to drive away from me. So he was behind me. It looked like he was. When he's behind me, it looked like he was way faster than me. But then I got behind him, and it was I could hold pace with him. So I was pretty surprised about that, pleasantly. And then I made a couple of stupid mistakes, and I thought I had blown it, and yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw him slowing way down with like just a few minutes left to go. I figured that must be what's happening. So
yeah,
crazy, long fight for it to be within. I mean, we were within a couple seconds pretty much after the first stint. We were within a couple seconds of each other the whole race. It was quite intense.
Yeah, it was a real good temperatures, a good night for racing, and it turned out that way. Even like you say, the whole entire race, you guys are within seeing distance of each other, and then you had Andres thrown in there for a few laps as well.
Yep, and I thought I was nervous about him the whole time. I didn't know what he's, another one that gets really good fuel mileage. I kept expecting all of a sudden him to pop up back in front of me, but yeah, I'm just worn out. It's a long race. Like I said, I couldn't believe it. So great race by Kevin. Too bad. I hate to see him lose it that way, but I put in way too much gas. I could have done 2 more laps at least.
Well, hey, congratulations on the win. I'm going to go pop up and talk to Kevin. Well, no, I'm not. He just left. So, hey, there it is. Appreciate you all season. Thanks a lot for the great racing, and congratulations again, man.
Yeah, thanks again, and appreciate you doing the broadcast. Sorry you're not going to be back with us next season. You won't be gone long. You can do both.
That's what everybody says. Thanks again.
All right. See you, Curtis.
Well, there it is, folks. Appreciate you all hanging out with us tonight. 3 hours of GT1 racing. So that's it for season 19. And it looks like I should go find Chris Moses and Al and congratulate them on their team championship. Well, Chris on actually the see, they're not going to let me talk to him. See if we can't pop in here to the PMR channel, talk to our season champion, Chris Moses. And while he's in there with Al, we'll talk to him too, for that team championship. Of course, he may be out getting a drink. Well, not going to happen. So there it is, folks. We're going to sign off on that one. Appreciate you all hanging out with us for 3 hours. Thanks for hanging out with us all season. Season 19's in the books. We got Chris Moses, our GT1 champion this year. We got PMR, our team champions. Congratulations to Al and Chris.
Hey, Curtis.
Oh, and there's our champion there. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Kind of a rough night, it looked like, but there you go, right? The championship.
I'll tell you what, man, the car was perfect and perfectly set up for the conditions. And the car was awesome, actually. 40 kilos. I just got majorly screwed on the first pit stop. But someone was in my stall, so I had to go around, and after that, it was like butter. So.
Well, that's good. And, yeah, like I say, you maybe kind of a surprising championship for you this season, do you think? Or what do you think?
To be honest, Kurt, the car was great at most of the tracks, and I thought I drove, I'd say exception of one race the entire season, I thought I drove really well and had the car set up to my liking really well. I just had some bad luck a couple times. But other than that, I felt like I earned the championship this year. So it feels good. First one for Lamborghini and for GT1 too. So the car suits me well, and really enjoyed driving.
Well, it's good to always get to get those championships, and congratulations to your teammate as well, Al, and for that team championship. I think you guys figured after you had you saw Ezza in front of you, and Al had Greg right behind him, and you guys knew you had it sewn up. So congratulations on that. Thanks for the great season 19. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you for broadcasting, and it was another great season. Enjoyed every minute of it. It was a lot of great racing, all 10 rounds.
Yeah, this was a great race. We be sure to watch the replay. Yeah, I think you will see the great racing that was going on in front of you too. So
Yeah, I loved it.
well, there it is. We're going to finish it up with that. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us this season. And be sure to come and check out everything on NorthAmericanGP.com. Be sure to check into the forums, sign up, get the downloads, and they'll make the announcements for the GT1 seasons, the GT2 seasons, and they got the new Saturday season on iRacing. So feel free to check that out. That season, first season, will be starting up here real soon. So, this is Curtis Chandler signing off. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, Kurt, for doing the broadcast. 3 hours.